The next thing we're going to do is to define the parameters and introduce the data for those parameters in AIMMS. So back to AIMMS, we are going to create first the parameter corresponding to the supply of every plant. And for that, we go to this button here, new parameter, we click on it, and we can type supply and press enter, and we have the identifier defined. If we go to the data, we click on current data, what we have is just one value or one text box for us to introduce a value, which makes sense because we haven't told AIMMS that it depends on the number of plants we have. So we haven't told AIMMS that it should create an element of information corresponding to the supply for every plant. And the way to do that is to use this index domain property. When we click P here, what we are telling is that this parameter should be created for every element corresponding to the set which I used, for which I created this index, as I told you previously. So in this case, if I do that, I check and commit and I go to the data. Now I have this table here. Okay, so I have a value for the supply of Haarlem and another for the value of the supply of Eindhoven. We can do the same thing for demand. We click on new parameter, demand. In this case, well, we can use the index domain, or when we are typing the number of the identifier of the parameter, we can use C in between brackets, and it does the filling of this property for us. AIMMS does it for us. Again, we can check that we can fill in the values here. Okay, and finally, we can create unit transport cost. In this case, what we have is the matrix with as many rows as plants and as many columns as customers. So the way to tell AIMMS to do so is to use this index domain PC in between brackets. So when we check and commit and go to the data, we have this matrix here. Okay. So now we can fill the information. So we can go to supply, we will go to data, and we can type the values for our supply, which was, we can check in our presentation, that was, remember, 47 and 63. So we can type here 47 and 63 and close. And you can do the very same thing for the rest of the parameters. You type it yourselves, and once you've done that, you can do save case, and you'll save the contents of the elements of your set and the values of the parameters you just created.